All right, today I'm here with
Mrs. Yoder.
and we're going to be getting a little insight onto her life and how she operates. So, first I'm going to start it off. How would the people closest to you describe you?
How would you guys describe me? No one has an answer. What?
Good teacher.
Good teacher. I'll take that. I think probably goofy and surprisingly intelligent.
I can agree with that. So, going on, you're really big in holidays. With your room being decorated, everything like that, along with your dressing. Is there any reasoning behind that?
Well, I feel like it just puts everybody in a better mood. I also like to dress up, and Halloween's my favorite. So any chance I get to decorate, especially for Halloween, or wear a costume, I'll do it because there's no expectation there. So it's just fun. You don't have to buy Christmas presents. You don't have to hand out candy. You can hand out candy, but you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But if you want to, you can just be somebody new and creative and laugh and bring everybody back to. I really like to dress as literary characters, okay. Right? So like someone will ask me who I am and I can talk about literature. It's kind of a trick, kind of like robots are tricks. Yeah.
So you are involved in robotics.
I am.
And how did you get into that?
Well, Miss Rosenbaum was asked by the school board and some students to start with a robotics team because Mr. Marsh left. And then I said no when she asked me to go on a field trip. And she said, well, Max wants to be involved, who's my son. And I said, well, no, he can do what he wants. And then she came back in another time and said, hey, we're going to Purdue on a field trip. It's Purdue. Don't you want to go? And I said, no, I'm good. And then she came back a third time and said, you want to go? And I said, yeah, fine, I'll go. And then I went, and it was incredible, the amount of things that happen that aren't just technology. There's a lot of communication that goes on, spirit. It's like a ginormous, like a sectional basketball game is the atmosphere when you go to competitions, which was really surprising because I thought it would be a lot more boring, but it's not.
So going back to the whole holiday thing, how do you think that affects your students? Like, do you think that has any play in their days or anything like that?
I don't know. Ask them.
Anybody have an opinion on that they want to come up and talk about? No? Yeah?
I got some people.
I think... Is this good?
Yeah, right there.
I think that having more of a festive atmosphere makes for a much more joyful and engaging experience. And I also think that it can also lighten somebody's mood who could have previously been in a much worse state.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Can you agree with that?
Oh, I do agree with that.
So kind of going off what she said as well with people in a bad state, have you personally, or on your opinion, have you seen a difference in like depression or anxiety, or like what are your thoughts on that?
You mean like during COVID or just in general?
Yeah, like in COVID.
During COVID, for sure. I actually just saw a chart and posted it on Facebook, that said juniors, which is you guys mostly, and some seniors too, but juniors haven't had a real like school experience since 8th grade, and seniors haven't had one since 9th grade. And so when you think about it that way, it kind of opens up some compassion, and you realize that other people who are home don't have all the same resources and don't have all the same level of care with parents and siblings, or they have to care for siblings, and that can get really depressing. So what I experience at home is not going to necessarily be the same as someone else. And so it just reminded me that depression is on the rise, suicide's on the rise, and that I need to be cognizant that my experience isn't everyone else's.
Very true. I know I've came to you with a lot of personal things. You're one person I've trusted. That's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. So what classes do you teach at Twin Lakes?
I teach English 9, English 11, and film literature.
Okay. And out of all those classes, which one is the most, I don't want to say fun, but the most intriguing and like you want to do it? Which out of all of them?
I want to do everything. First of all, I'll say I I have a special place in my heart for freshmen for whatever reason. I think it's because they're easier to trick. Like, they're more impressed with me than the older kids because they're not used to me. But the most fun to teach and the most intriguing and the best discussions comes from film literature. And I like juniors and I like seniors as well. It's just that freshmen, they're so cute. That's why I don't teach elementary school, by the way. I did sub once for elementary and they ate me alive. It was terrible. It's terrible. They're like, with music, and they were like putting their rhythm sticks everywhere and screaming and yelling, and I had no control. It was terrible. I'm like, but they're so cute, it's great. And then their teacher came across the hall, and they all just got in a line, and they all gave me and she goes, no recess, I heard you guys. And those little guys, they just gave me a look as they left, like, you did this to me, it's your fault. And that's when I knew that I couldn't do elementary school, and that's probably why I like freshmen a little bit. But, like, they're fun for me because, I don't know, I like them. But I love film lit because you're awesome. That's right.
So with being a literacy teacher, what's your favorite genre of books?
Literature? Well, I think I like horror. I don't like horror films, but I like horror novels, and I like drama, and I don't like happy endings.
So you kind of like more of the thriller horror and that kind of aspect?
I like things that are realistic to me, and to me, although I'm really peppy and happy most of the time, to me, saying that everything ends well, it sets people up for unrealistic expectations in their life. So I kind of like books that don't do that. And then the character has to work through problems that are real.
So if you could only choose one book to read for the rest of your life, what would that one book be?
It would be East of Eden. It's John Steinbeck, Miss King and I.
So give us an insight for the people that don't know what that is. What's a easy explanation for it?
For East of Eden, well, first of all, you're familiar with the author because you all should have read of Mice and Men, right?
Yeah.
Right? So he's the author of Mice and Men. And so it kind of has that same feel, except a little bit more intellectual because those are ranch hands. And these are a combination between immigrants and more educated and people. But essentially, it's the story of Cain and Abel from the Bible, but told in the time period of 1940. So you have two twin brothers that are born to a migrant who came and moved in, not migrant from another country, but migrant into California. And he raises these two boys. He favors one a lot, but he's not mean to them. And the one brother ends up killing the other brother, and it's fantastic.
Wow.
It's multi-layered. It's about lots of families and lots of events. So
Okay.
it's great.
So did you always know that you were going to be a teacher? And if not, what was another thing that you were interested in?
Okay, I kind of always knew I wanted to be a teacher, and it is because I couldn't read until 5th grade. So I got bused to special school. So instead of staying at my home school, I got bused from the country into the city where they had a program for reading that they didn't have in my school. And I learned to read that way and had a wonderful teacher. So I always knew that that's what I wanted to do because I wouldn't be able to read if it wasn't for Mrs. Peterson. And by homeschool I left and ended up having to go back to. I got bullied a lot. It was really bad. So that time in my life, I thought that she was someone, and I know she's someone who saved me and helped me. So I always knew that I wanted to do that until I got to high school, and then I was all like, ooh, stars are pretty. And I wanted to be an astronomer. And then I took physics to prepare myself. And then I decided, ooh, you know what's better? Teaching. Physics is hard.
Okay. How do I word this? What is the biggest lesson or life lesson that you've learned from one of your students?
Oh, don't judge a book by its cover.
And why do you say that?
Well, because this is weird. It's not your normal story about this. I have lots of introverted students in class, and I am not an introvert, obviously, right? Very loud. And so when kids are quiet in class and are sitting there absorbing and doing stuff, my assumption is that they're bored or they or they're not enjoying class even though they're doing their work, and and then what ends up happening is a few years later they contact me and talk to me, or I get a book that says I was their favorite teacher, and I would have never thought that because I did take time to know them, but they were just, again, I got to remember people are different than me, right? And they express themselves differently. I just did not know that I was reaching them as much. And so, like, don't stop doing what I'm doing in positive ways because I think it's not effective, because sometimes it is. And, there you go.
Alrighty. So I think we're going to end this interview off with a little this or that.
Okay, I'm ready.
So if there's anybody that has a suggestion or anything, just shout something out. If not, I'll start it out. So, you
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Ice cream or cheesecake?
Ice cream.
Pen or pencil?
Oh, pencil, I guess.
Dress or skirt?
Dress.
Okay. Shirt, long sleeve?
Long sleeve.
Mask, no mask?
Mask.
Mask?
Mask.
Okay. All right. Literature or
Do
gym?
you know masks not only do they protect you and someone else, they also make you look younger when you're old. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. When you were in elementary, did you like literature or gym class more?
Oh, literature.
Literature?
Yeah.
Okay. Blue or green?
Blue.
Red or yellow?
Yellow.
And s'mores with Reese's or with Hershey's?
With just Reese's and no marshmallows and no graham crackers.
All right. And last one, bun or ponytail?
Ponytail.
Ponytail. Alrighty. Well, thank you for giving us your time
All
of
right.
day.
Thank you. Here.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we'll do that.
okay.
We'll do with the bump.
All right.
And I think that's going to conclude this.
All right,
This
thank
is
you.
Miss Yoder, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Jazz hands. Okay. Yay. Good job. And then we'll watch this.